Yeah, that's a good question. So I actually haven't made my devlog covering the launch of the game yet. It made about $2,000 on launch week,
Okay.
which was bigger than my last launch actually on Steam.
So you're making progress.
Yeah, but Steam actually isn't what I would call my primary platform. Usually I launch it on Steam first because I don't expect it to bring in as much money as the console platforms that I'm porting it to, and it's easier to patch and give updates. So I almost treat it like a soft launch. I do all the marketing beats. I reach out to streamers.
Why do you think that console is going to make you more money?
Experience, I guess. I think in Steam there's more saturation, and in consoles it's hard to get on consoles, and a lot of people don't think it's worth your time unless you.
So you've done better on console than Steam in your experience. Which
Yeah.
game did well or did
so
better
so I
than
only
Steam?
yeah so I only have one game that's on all consoles right now. That was my first game, and it's called Tanks But No Tanks, and it's a local multiplayer shoot 'em up game.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that did better than Steam. According to Chris Zukowski, 20 to 30%, I could be wrong here, but it's some low number, 20 to 30% of most games revenue is console. The rest is Steam.
Yep.
So that's the typical. The typical for people listening is Steam is usually where you get your money. I just had a phone call with my publisher, and they said priority number one is Steam. Above all, it's like, nose in your computer and focus only on Steam. Do not even look up for console is the attitude.
Yep.
And so what you're saying is unorthodox.
Yep.
And I'm not sure I understand it.
Yeah.
But if that's your experience, I can't argue with it,
Right. Yeah. It's super. It is unorthodox because nobody is doing it this way, because most people need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per game, right? Or millions. They're trying to make a ton of money for each title that they launch. I'm just trying to make a meager income for one person, right? So I don't need to take a huge chunk of the market. And I think with Steam, it's very competitive. They have like 10 to 20 games launching every day or something like that, and the market on Steam is saturated because the barrier of entry is lower than on consoles. And so when you put a game on consoles, the lower threshold, like you can launch on Steam and get 0 sales, right? But I think that's harder to do on consoles. I think there's a lower threshold for the amount of sales that you get because you get more organic exposure. Whereas with Steam, you kind of have to prove yourself that you're like a big game that people are interested in. And then once you get to that level, you're going to make a lot more money. But right. I think as a solo indie developer, I'm just testing the waters to see if there are other ways to survive than just concentrating on Steam.